Okay, so one of the things we like to do at Barbados IGF, or I should say that we don't like to do, is to have you sit in the audience all day and listen to people talk at you. And also, anybody in this room that knows me, that works with me, will tell you that I like to put people to work. You know, right here. So we are hoping that this year, your participation will help us plan the projects that we will be reporting on next year. And that is what this exercise is going to be about. So we're going to ask you to divide into 6 groups. The way we're going to do it is the first 2 tables, one group, and the next 2 tables. So this is group 1 here, group 2, and the same thing down, group 3, group 4, group 5, and group 6. Was that clear? Okay, so the first 2 rows, 1, 2, this is group 1, right? So you guys can turn around and they can stay facing, so nobody has to move too much, right, to be in group. You guys have all decided to sit in one row, so you're just a group. You don't have to move because you're here. So group 3, right? Group 3. Yes, group 3. These 2 rows here, these 2 tables, anybody sitting here and here? Group 3. Ashell is gonna help. Ashell is helping me. Just join the group, right? So we have group 4 here. Good? And we're good down this end. Group 5 and group 6. Group 5 and group 6. We good? Group 5 and group 6. Good? 6? Okay. So we've had a lot of discussion over the last 2 days. I know some people may only have been here for today, but lots of people were here for both days as well. And we want you to, in the next 15 minutes, conceptualize a project to address just one of the issues that we discussed over the last 2 days. And we're not asking you to go tomorrow and start executing a project. All we're asking is that you tell us the issue your project is going to address, the target group for your project, the agencies that should be involved and why they should be involved, and a very short description of the project, right? So in 15 minutes, discuss, decide, choose a person to be your rapporteur because we want you to email this format, issue you're addressing, target group for your project, agencies to be involved and why, and a brief description to info@igf.bb. Because after 15 minutes, we are going to show your project on the screen as one person from your group is going to give us a lightning pitch for your project. So you have not more than 5 minutes to tell us why your project should get resources, why your project is the one that we should implement, come and be reporting on come next year's IGF. After 5 minutes, the mic turning off. You got 5 minutes to convince me and your colleagues. Are there any questions? Good? All right. 15 minutes. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's our time. I wanted to have a foghorn, but the sound guy said that that was not something that I should probably do. Group 1. Okay. Group 1. Who's giving your lightning pitch?
Good afternoon, everyone. So basically, Miss Donna, I got going stage.
You got this really nice podium front here, Phil.
Basically, we were looking at disaster recovery, as that was one of the topics various persons would have grown a significant interest towards. What we were looking at is our target audience is being the general population, and we believe communication is vital after a natural disaster. I see Stephen looking at me like his soul is like that. So what we were thinking of, a communication network that can be easily, very modular, can be easily built in strategic locations that would have been designed prior to whatever disaster it is. Radios and towers that could basically be constructed in probably less than an hour, with centralized communication at the DEM command center. At the command center now, they would have the satellite phones and so forth, of which they can communicate externally. So we know we have the groups, I can't remember what the groups that we have in the various communities name. Right, so they would all bring information back to the EM locations across the island, and that information now via RF will be communicated to the central command station, and then through a coordinated effort, they will know what is going on within the various communities across the island. So that is basically our quick 15-minute project. Any questions? Pardon me? Oh yeah, so part of this would obviously involve training of the construct, of how to construct these towers and the radios, and also training in terms of the general population, how they are supposed to report back into these central locations, and training at the command center and using the various equipment. Anything else?
We got 3 minutes, so I am going to ask you questions.
Go ahead.
Is this the general population to communicate? Because you have that as your target audience, right? But what communication is it that we are reporting in our communities, what's going on in the community, and reporting that to DEM, the central command?
So, yeah.
Or are we Facebooking?
So, we have these various strategic points across the island, of which what is going on in the various communities will go to those, and then they will then convey the information back to the DEM Central Command Center.
Okay.
Therefore, you know what is going on across the island of Barbados.
Great.
Isabel, your infrastructure has been flattened like Dominica, and you need to understand in different sectors, different areas of the country, parishes for us, 11 parishes, what's going on, who's alive, who needs help, is there water? So it's basic. There's no Facebook, there's no internet. These radios haven't been modularly constructed, are low power. So we're looking at maybe some type of a photovoltaic battery type system to keep them powered. So it's basic communication.
Thanks, Austin.
You don't want to use your last minute and 30 seconds? Okay, good.
That was for questions, but since there are no questions, then
Anybody else got a question?
Yeah, we won't use it.
Anybody else in the audience have a question in the last? Okay, well, we're out of time.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. My name is Glenn Fielding. I'm a risk management consultant, GeoLinks Consultancy, Inc. It's interesting that his target group is only the general population, it would seem. And that leads right into the fact that several businesses will not be able to function after a disaster. Several of them will not be able to communicate with employees, even to see how employees have fared. So one of the key issues is the whole question of business continuity planning and crisis communication planning. A lot of organizations now need to look at that as part of their strategy. And that's what we teach as well. So anybody wants some information, contact me afterwards.
Okay, thank you. Group 2.
Thank you.
Oh, round of applause for group 1.
Thank you.
Yes, we give a group. Who's presenting from group 2? We have your email, right?
Yeah.
Pull up the inbox to me, please. You're distracting my tech support. Group 2. Can we have the email on the screen, please? Okay, great.
Okay, you can present here or after go. Okay, let me go up there. Good afternoon, everyone. So basically, the issue that we were looking at today is the whole issue of online child protection, in a sense. So you want to look at the risks associated with online child abuse, either from the child and to the child. So it can happen both sides. Children getting involved in bullying and that kind of stuff, and children at the same time having predators who want to take advantage of them. So I kind of coined that term there. I need to have trust, but verified trust, or build on that trust. We were kind of coining on the term that we heard during that presentation yesterday. So the target groups that we take this project need to focus on is parents, teachers, and guardians. And the agencies that need to be involved in this project are the Ministry of Education, Child Care Board, also the police, parent-teacher associations, and civil societies and community groups. There are many of them that looks at, child protection and children who are disadvantaged, and also children who are subject to different exposures out there need to be protected in our society, the vulnerable. So basically, description of the whole project is to identify the different problems that various target groups has. So we can identify the problems of what parents said, that there are problems with their children, what teachers are saying, the problems that are being experienced in the classroom, a place of learning, and other guardians of light. And basically, for such solutions, if there are going to be any solutions, we believe that they need to be captive in areas of providing control, such as correctives. So we need to be able to respond when we realize that there's an issue. Whether we use technology, of course, can help, where we can block persons or block applications or any tools or use of technology to that have created a problem. Also, we want to be able to detect the problems before they happen. So contingent planning will be very important. How do we detect? I mean, people have different profiles, and I think profiling risk is a big thing that we can take advantage of. We can profile and be able to understand where to deal with when things occur and how to deal with them. And also we want to have prevention. Always better to be safe than sorry. So it's better to have that firewall or software installed than, we're not saying it's the end all, but it's best also for all these particular target groups to be informed, have the knowledge of what they can use to protect themselves from this type of abuse and attacks on children and taking advantage of vulnerable children in our society. That's it.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Steve Williams, Group 3, and we are looking at what happens after disaster as well. And we've came with the idea of a mobile app called Red Alert. So, if you know disasters, there's different levels of disasters. So you have the basic, the whole country is gone, and there was a country there, and there's no country anymore. But that's the astronomical side. A lot of the times, our cell phone towers can take up to Category 3, Category 4 rating, meaning that you may lose connectivity for a little while, and that's because there are other aspects that go into telecommunications. But for the most part, the cell towers are still up. If the cell towers are still up, it's very likely that within maybe a day or two, the telcos can get connectivity back to the mobile phones. So our idea for Red Alert is a mobile application that has 3 compartments or 3 phases. One is this phase now, which we're in, where you give tips. You basically can say that, interactive enough to say, well, do you have your first aid kit, hurricane preparedness? Then as the event is happening, it gives you bulleted information to, for example, this is what's happening right now, all coming from the Disaster Management Agency. And then phase 3 is, oh crap, the country's been hit. Certain services are down. I need assistance. Now, one of the things that is not part of the emergency landscape is the fact that basically always charge your phone. So if you have a pending hurricane or a pending disaster that you know you're tracking, charge your phone. Because more than likely when that event happens, you have a full charge, the app would then be able to say, with a base user interface, I'm hurt, I need this, I need that, I send a small data packet out. Now, one of the things that came up in this same forum is the fact that people start surfing ridiculously. They're looking at websites, looking at this. But the reason we have a lightweight app is to send a little bit of data back to a central location. So we call it Red Alert, playing on the fact that Digital is a sponsor, so Digital is in here. We'd like to work with you, to probably build this application. All right? So you have a central server hosted, and the Department of Management Services, the telco provider, would actually have this server. So on this server, what's happening is that it's taking small bits of data back. So we don't even want off-island bandwidth. We want it hosted in Barbados, and this thing could be now rolled out to multiple countries, because as soon as the external network comes up, have SEDEMA or any other state actor that wants to help us having a better idea or clear idea of who needs services in terms of whether it be, if it's water's out, they need food, are they hurt, you can get a better idea, because more often than not, people travel with their mobile phones. More often than not, it is smartphones that people have. So our idea is to actually have Red Alert in the hands of Bajans who would want to have that level of connection back and to say, I am alive. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Group 4.
We're gonna, we had it all put together.
Listen, some people are overachievers.
So, thanks to my wonderful team. Thank you, thank you. So now I'm gonna show you a short video on, wait. We coming good? We just came good. Don't be jealous, don't be jealous. I have my 5 minutes. Don't worry, it's not up yet. We could cut it. We could cut it.
Mihkel, palun tule korraks appi.
Kohe tulen.
Okay, yes, so clearly we're having some technical difficulties. But the whole idea is that we want to make it fun and we want to make it educational, okay? So we don't want anything boring to bore anyone. And that's basically the videos showing that, okay? We want to start from when they are in nursery school right up to secondary school. Also, in order to register your child for nursery, secondary, primary, you have to do this course. So you have to go online. So you're going to educate yourself as well. Okay, you have to go online. When you're finished the course, it's going to give you points, which gives you discounts in child supplies or something. So you get a benefit for going on the online course. And basically, that's what we're projecting here. I know I ain't got no more 3 minutes. Sure.
Say if I understand you,
Yes.
you are conceptualizing a program where we incentivize parents to learn how to keep their children safe online.
Absolutely.
Okay, so your target audience is everybody though, parents, children, teachers. So the fun video is for the children and
No, it's for the adults too.
the cartoon is for the adults.
Yeah, cartoons for the adults too.
Okay. I would not be watching that.
What should I say? You don't have to watch that. You can read the information, but there's an option because some people don't like to read. So at least you have options.
Oh, you watch, is that why?
Yes, you do that.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Group 5. I know that they would have made you do this. I knew it. I knew that you were going to be the scapegoat.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Olivier Harper, Group 5. You can bring up the so-called email?
Can we see the email, please?
You know? You know? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Our thing was that we looked at blockchain. And the problem we saw was the lack of enabling regulation framework to support innovation and blockchain in particular. The target government, and that is on a broader sense, but then specifically the Attorney General, the Financial Service Commission, Central Bank, and any other stakeholders within that can use the blockchain innovativeness. Our solution was to look at the creation of an advocacy group to educate the government and wider citizenry regarding the value of blockchain, be it through foreign direct investment, and the security that blockchain provides for governmental agencies and businesses, and the increase of efficiency across the board as can be deemed usable. And also as what's this one? Oh, right. Yeah, this is way high rated. Yeah, this is way high rated. Right. And looking to do the impossible, which is emerge as a leader in the blockchain device, but there are already people who are already out there. So how do we emerge as a leader? Not by what we provide, but the execution of it. And that concludes the presentation of Group 5.
Group 6. Last but not least.
Good afternoon. I'm Nyla Robinson from Group 6. We also addressed the issue of child security, and we came up with an idea that could be implemented, although in partnership with other agencies, implemented solely by ISOC. And it's called the Digital Citizenship Curriculum, Being a Digital Citizen, Navigating a Digital World. There are 4 components, and we start with a survey so that we can gather some data. I know that Noah spoke about a survey earlier. I'm not sure if they captured the same data, but just to have an idea of how do people feel about cybersecurity? How much do they know? Have they ever heard an ad about keeping their children safe and private? You have the survey, let's say next month, send it out to the schools, or in September, send it out to the PTAs, the teachers, and then have it again in 6 months and see if the knowledge has changed so that you can measure whether you've had an impact. The activities, the first one is to have a cyber club. This came out, I was really interested in the presentation yesterday. I don't see the presenter here, where he was talking about a cyber parents club, Bajan Cyber Parents. Have a Facebook group, so it's a very low resource requirement, where, sorry, right, where people can just ask questions or answer questions and share information, but not fake news, about threats online and how to keep their kids safe. The second one was the creation of advertisements, a little spot, you know, from the guidance counselor we had yesterday. If you want to destroy your children's future, remain ignorant about technology. So you just have a little voice saying that on the radio or on, you know, while you're watching YouTube, or you come on to my website and I run that little ad very briefly, linking you back to the Facebook group or to the Barbados Association's information site. The third one was the creation of curriculum, of actual content that could be shared with guidance counselors or teachers in the IT sector. So you have different versions, perhaps for secondary school or primary school, and it could be a chapter for your health and family life education class or for your IT class on privacy, security, self-esteem, and navigating your digital world. This could be in the form of a straight out of the box presentation, so they just click on the video and their class watches it, then they have a discussion. They could do a chapter in a textbook, give it to the students to read, or they can edit it. So it was a suggestion to have it as a wiki that the teachers themselves could edit, adding content and changing the modules. That was our idea.
Sometimes it's advantageous to go last. Good job, Group 6. Okay, so before we go